Hi, welcome back to Lee Capital Trading. I'm Eddie Lee, and this is video 7 of our 12-part free technical analysis course. Up to this point, we built the tools, we talked about candlesticks, support and resistance, trends, and indicators. But now we're getting to the part that separates the amateurs from those who actually become traders. Because tools alone does not make you money. A plan makes you money. Most traders do not lose because they can't spot the setups. They lose because they have no rules, they enter randomly, they size randomly, they move their stops emotionally, they revenge trade, and they overtrade. They break down because there's no structure. Today, we're building your trading plan, the exact framework that tells you what to trade, when to trade, what not to trade, how much to risk, where to enter, where to exit, and how to stay disciplined. This is where trading starts to become professional.
A trading plan is your rulebook. It tells you exactly what kind of trades you take, what must be true before you enter, where your stop goes, how much size you can take, where you take profit, and when to do absolutely nothing. That's important. Doing nothing is part of trading. Sometimes the right call is no trade. When you don't have a plan, your emotions fill the gap. Fear becomes the plan. Greed becomes the plan. FOMO becomes the plan. And that always ends the same way. Your trading plan is the structure that keeps you disciplined and consistent, and it protects you from your own worst instincts under pressure. Let me tell you why most traders fail. And it is not what you think. It's not that they can't read a candlestick. It's not that they can't find support and resistance. It's not that they don't understand MACD. They fail because they have no structure. They size too big. They take trades because a candle looked exciting. They move stop losses because they feel like price will come back. They revenge trade after losses. They break every rule the second they feel pressure. The fix is simple in concept, but requires discipline. Build a framework and follow it. Judge your trades by whether you followed the process, not by whether they made money. A clean loss following your rules is a good trade. A lucky win where you broke every rule is a bad trade. This mindset shift is what creates consistency. Every solid trading plan has 5 core parts. Part 1. Market context. Before any trade, you need to assess what kind of market you're in. Trending up, trending down, or chopping sideways. High volatility or dead slow. This determines which setups are even allowed today. Part 2. Setup rules. What specific conditions must all be met before you consider a trade? Not, this looks bullish. Exact yes/no criteria. 8 EMA above 21. Price at HVN support. Confirmation candle. Part 3. Risk rules. How much per trade? What's the max daily loss? What do you do after a losing streak? This protects your account. Part 4. Execution rules. Entry trigger, stop placement, target, position size, all defined before you enter. Part 5. Discipline rules. When do you stop trading for the day? After how many losses? What behavior automatically disqualifies a trade? This is what makes your trading repeatable. And if it's repeatable, it can be improved. If it's random, it can't. Before you even think about entry, you need context. What's the market doing today? Are we trending cleanly? Chopping? Ranging between levels? Is there major news? Is volatility high or dead? Because the same setup plays differently in different conditions. A breakout setup in a clean trend works beautifully. That same breakout in chop gets you trapped and stopped out. A reversal signal in a stretched, extended market might work perfectly. The same reversal in a strong trending move might just be a small pullback before the trend continues. So the first rule in your trading plan should be, what kind of day is this, and what setups are allowed in this market type? In my trading room, before we look at individual setups, we always step back and ask, what is the macro context right now? Trending, ranging, or avoid? That answer shapes everything that follows. Your setup rules must be specific, and I mean really specific. A beginner says, this looks good. That's not a setup. That's a feeling. Feelings change every minute. You can't build a repeatable business on feelings. A professional says, the 50 and 200 SMA trend is bullish. Price pulled back into a high volume node support. The 8 EMA is above the 21 EMA. MACD is aligned bullishly. A hammer or strong bullish confirmation candle formed. Risk/reward is at least 2 to 1. That is a setup. Every condition is either true or false. There's no room for interpretation. There's no close enough. Here's the test. Can you write your setup as a yes/no checklist? If yes, great. If you're writing things like, it looks good or momentum seems bullish, those are not rules. They're excuses to enter bad trades. The discipline to only trade setups that check every box is where consistency begins. 2 of the most important rules in your trading plan are entry and stop. Entry first. A lot of traders see a setup forming and jump in too early. They anticipate instead of confirm. They chase instead of wait. Your entry rule must define exactly what triggers the trade. Do you enter on candle close? Do you wait for a confirmation candle above a level? Do you need volume to confirm? Do you use a market order or a limit? For example, I only enter after a bullish confirmation candle closes above support, with the 8 EMA above the 21 EMA, and MACD not fighting the move. That's clear. That's a rule. Now stop. Here is one of the most important lines in your whole trading career. Your stop loss goes where the trade idea is wrong. Not where it feels comfortable. Not where you'd lose less. Not where it's emotionally easier. The stop goes at invalidation. If you're buying support, your stop goes below support. If support fails, the idea failed. You're out. And the critical sequence: define the stop first, then calculate position size from that stop distance. Never pick size first, and force the stop afterward. This is where a lot of traders blow up their accounts. They think, this setup looks amazing, so I'm going big. I'm sizing up. I'm going all in. Wrong. Your position size is not based on confidence. It's based on risk. The formula is simple. Position size equals dollar risk divided by entry minus stop. So if you're willing to risk $100 on a trade, and your stop is $1 away from entry, you can take 100 shares. If the stop is only 50 cents away, you can take 200 shares. If the stop is $2 away, you can only take 50 shares. Same dollar risk. In every scenario, different stop distance equals different size. This is what keeps you alive when trades don't work. One bad setup never becomes a disaster, because you've predefined exactly how much you're willing to lose. Your plan must define a fixed risk per trade, whether that's a dollar amount or percentage of your account. That number doesn't change based on how much you like the setup. Most beginners obsess over entry and barely think about the target. That's completely backwards. Your plan should define your target before you enter the trade. Not while you're in it, not after price moves. Before. Common target methods. Using the next high-volume node, where you know real traders have been active and price is likely to react. Using a fixed risk/reward ratio. Minimum 2-to-1, meaning your potential gain is twice your potential loss. Scaling out partial profits and leaving a runner. Trailing behind structure. The key principle. Your winners must be structured to pay you more than your losers cost you. This is what keeps your overall expectancy positive, even when you're wrong half the time. If your stop is defined but your target is random, chosen while you're in the trade based on how the P&L feels, your strategy is incomplete. You need both sides of the trade planned before you execute. This is where real discipline starts. Daily risk rules. Your plan should define, what's the max risk per trade? What's the maximum number of trades today? What's the maximum daily loss? And critically, what happens after a losing streak? This is your circuit breaker, the mechanism that prevents a bad morning from becoming a blown account. Here's why this matters. The market is not just testing your strategy, it's testing your psychology. Most of the time when traders blow up, it's not because they had one bad trade. It's because they had a bad trade, then revenge traded, then oversized trying to get back, then broke every rule in a spiral of emotional decision-making. Your daily rules stop that spiral before it starts. Professional example. Risk 1% per trade maximum. Stop trading after 3 losses. Max daily loss equals 2% of account. Hit it, and you're done for the day. No overrides, no exceptions. If your plan doesn't tell you when to stop, you'll keep trading until emotion takes over. And emotion always loses. A real trading plan is not just about when to trade. It's about when not to trade. And this is where a lot of traders improve the fastest. Your plan should literally include a list of conditions that automatically disqualify a trade. No debate, no rationalizing. Setup not fully confirmed? No trade. Risk/reward is poor? No trade. Market is choppy and context is wrong? No trade. You missed the entry and want to chase? No trade. You're angry, or tired, or emotionally charged? No trade. You've hit your daily loss limit? Done for the day. This is not weakness. This is professionalism. Capital is protected as much by the trades you skip as the trades you take. Every bad trade you skip is capital preserved for the next high-probability setup. The best traders I know are ruthlessly selective. They'd rather do nothing all day than take a trade that doesn't fully qualify. Boredom is not a reason to trade. This is the heart of your execution process, the pre-trade checklist. Before every trade, this is what you ask yourself. What's the market context? Is this one of my actual approved setups? All criteria confirmed? Where is my entry? Where is my stop? What is my target? What size can I take based on my fixed dollar risk? Is the risk/reward valid? Minimum 2 to 1? And am I calm and in the right emotional state to execute? Here's the key rule. If one critical item is a no, it's a no trade. Period. No debate. No, this one looks special. No rationalizing. If the checklist has a no, you pass. Another setup will come. This checklist becomes your protection against the biggest enemy in trading, yourself. The moment you start skipping checklist items is the moment the rules start to break down. Print it out. Put it on your screen. Run through it every time, for every trade, until it becomes automatic. Getting into a trade is only half of trading. Now you have to manage it. This is where many traders sabotage good setups. They get in correctly, following every rule, and then they fall apart once they're in the trade. They move the stop because price gets close. They close early because they're scared. They add size because they're winning and feeling invincible. They stare at the P&L number rather than watching what price is actually doing at key levels. Here's the rule. Once you're in the trade, your job is to execute the plan you already made. The exit was decided before entry. The stop was set at invalidation before entry. The position size was calculated before entry. Your job now is to let the trade play out according to that plan. If your trade management changes every time you feel fear or greed, you don't actually have a strategy. You have a mood. And trading based on mood is not a business, it's gambling. If you don't journal, you're guessing about your performance. And guessing about your performance means you can't improve it deliberately. A lot of traders think they know their habits and patterns. They don't. The journal tells the truth. Here's what to log for every trade. The setup type, entry, stop, and target, position size. The result, a screenshot of the chart, whether you followed the rules or broke them, and your emotional state at the time. Over time, patterns appear. You'll see that you consistently get stopped out before the move happens because your stops are too tight, or that your best trades come from one specific setup, or that you lose money primarily when you're trading after lunch, when you're tired. The journal turns trading from a feeling into a fact, and facts can be improved. Feelings can't. And remember, grade trades by process, not money. A clean loss that followed every rule is a process win. A random lucky profit where you broke your rules is a process loss. This distinction is critical. This might be the most important mindset shift in the entire course. A planned loss can be a good trade. A lucky profit can be a bad trade. If you followed your setup, respected risk, used correct position size, placed your stop at invalidation, and the trade lost, that was a good trade. The market didn't agree with your thesis this time, but you executed correctly, and the loss was controlled. That reinforces good behavior. But if you chased a candle, sized up because you were excited, ignored your stop, got lucky and made money, that's a bad trade. Because next time you do the same things, the market won't be as kind, and the damage will be far worse. This mindset is what creates long-term consistency. When you start grading yourself on process, rather than short-term profit and loss, your behavior changes. You stop breaking rules hoping to get lucky. You start executing cleanly because that's what the grade is based on. This is what professionals do. Judge the process. The money follows. Let me simplify all of this into something you can start with today. A beginner trading plan can be very simple. 9 rules. 1. Only trade approved setups. All criteria confirmed. 2. Only trade when market context supports the setup. 3. Fixed dollar risk per trade. Every trade, no exceptions. 4. Enter only on confirmation. Candle close, not anticipation. 5. Stop at invalidation, below support or above resistance. 6. Target defined before entry. Next HVN, or minimum 2 to 1 risk/reward. 7. Hit max daily loss. Close the platform. You're done. 8. Journal every trade. Screenshot, notes, and a process grade. 9. No revenge trading. No chasing. Walk away. That's it. 9 rules. 1 page. Simpler is better. The goal is not to build the most sophisticated trading plan. The goal is to build a plan you can actually follow, consistently, every session, for months. Start here. Execute these 9 rules for 30 days. Review your journal, then refine based on what the data tells you. That's video 7. Let's recap what you now have. You have a 5-part trading plan framework: market context, setup rules, risk rules, execution rules, and discipline rules. You have a pre-trade checklist that filters every trade before you execute. You have no trade rules that protect your capital from bad setups and bad states. You have position sizing based on fixed dollar risk. You have profit targets planned before entry. You have daily loss limits as a circuit breaker. And you have a journaling system to track your execution and evolve your plan over time. Combine this with everything from the previous 6 videos: candlestick patterns, support and resistance, trends, indicators, and you have a complete professional framework. But here's the truth. Even with a great plan and great tools, you can still destroy your account if your psychology is weak. So next video, video 8, we go deep into trading psychology and risk management. Fear, greed, revenge trading, overconfidence, and how to stay consistent and disciplined when real money is on the line. Before you go, hit like if this framework helped. Subscribe for video 8, and comment below, which rule do you need most right now? Entry rules, stop loss rules, position sizing, or discipline? I want to know where you're stuck. And start building your one-page plan today. Not tomorrow, today. Even if it's basic, start. Disclaimer: stocks, futures, and options involve substantial risk and are not suitable for every investor. I am not a financial advisor and do not give financial advice. Everything we say and do are opinions and for educational purposes only.